quick question for you. Are you a person that have quite a few handhelds, or do you have maybe a couple of handhelds? Or maybe you just have one handheld that just suits all your needs. What about handhelds that, and I'm not talking about the big names like the Rock Ally, the Legion Go, the MSI Claw. I'm not gonna even say nothing, even the bigger names like let's put it like this, like the Odin or these big names. Okay, I want to say probably in the case of like the Pal Kitty, the Retroid, the Ambernick, even like other little small companies like Data Frog. Okay, let's put it that way. Okay, and I'm not sure if Data Frog actually makes handhelds. I mean, as I was on Reddit, they were saying that Data Frog doesn't really make handhelds. So I'm quite sure they probably get them in, or they probably put their name behind it. I'm not sure. I'm not going to dig into it. If you guys know more information, let me know in the comments. What about these like no name handhelds that sometimes I have to question because I want to know. I'm like, okay, I'll be wanting to know like who's behind this. And because when I select the handheld, I want to see like, and I think of like, sometimes think of the big names. Of course, you want to get something that's good, that's going to last. And then there's also some of the cheaper ones, but sometimes the community be behind it and really help to set these things up and make these handhelds awesome. Then again, a lot of times, of course, that a lot of these handhelds are what is called like open source, to where you can throw whatever you want on them and throw your own stuff on them. And that just creates a hobby of games to where that, or creates a hobby of how you want to set your stuff up. Me, and a lot of times, because I have so many handhelds, I like to sometimes I set my handheld with just maybe one or two consoles. Like there's some certain handhelds I'd be like, okay, this is perfect for just handheld game consoles. Even though the fact is that it can play more than that, I do that. That's just sometimes I do that. But I got this little cool handheld in. It's called the R36S retro handheld, and this thing got the Linux system, 3.5 inch IPS screen. It came with a 64 gig SD card, which got like I believe it's like protected on the side, but it's like open, so you can actually add more games because it's supposed to be open source. So, and as I was testing this thing out and I'm looking at the games and just giving my full test, because I like to first, before I do anything, just like I said, I like to give an experience of how a handheld, give you an experience and myself, because I need to know of how it feels when you open up this handheld. Because say for instance, you might be a person that just doesn't want to mess around with grabbing games or installing other stuff or tapping around with it. You just want to just turn the thing on and play some games. You ain't really worried about the specs. You ain't worried about none of that. You just want to know, does it play this system? Does it play that system? That's it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as long as the screen looks good, the battery life is decent, and can it play a system that you haven't played in years? Okay, let's not talk about the big ones like PS3 and Xbox. Come on, I mean, I'm talking about the real simple systems that's from back in the day. Can it play a Nintendo DS? Can it play like some old arcade games? Can it play like Neo Geo? And that's what we want. Now, as I was like peeping this thing out, I was just, who makes this handheld? And I don't know. I didn't want to dig in it too much, but I kind of almost did. Like, I was wondering who makes this handheld. But that's not including, I still want to test this thing out. Let's get started. What is going on, you guys? Your boy Famous Kid Video Game Entertainment. And before we go any further, make sure you hit the like, subscribe button. Click like, subscribing. It's always a big help. Let me tell you a bit about myself. I am not a person that bees on social media like that, like far as like Twitter or X or TikTok and everything. I don't really be on there like that. I just don't. I mean, like Instagram, because a lot of times this is where I like and I love. I love to connect with people that's into nostalgia like me. Love retro stuff like that, retro gaming, back in the day, just the stuff that I grew up on, and relate. Like people shows me certain, like they talk to me about certain handhelds they got, maybe some games they haven't played in a long time, all this other stuff. That's what I'm into. I'm into seeing some really great nostalgia stuff. Even more those like the really old cartoons, like talk about those, the old movies, like some of the old action movies and stuff like that. That's what I'm into. And the reason I said it because when I was actually looking for some information on the R36S, I went up on Reddit and some simple stuff. I'm not going to sit there and get into it and go and tweet something with this question. So that's the reason why I'm going to ask you guys. If you guys know who's like the manufacturer of this, and I know that it has it in the back, and it seemed like it's like a no-name company, which is probably what it is. I was thinking that maybe like Power Kitty would have been bagging it up, or Data Frog or something like that. That's what I was thinking of, like a name like that. But I mean, it's nothing like too big to get into, but it's just so cool because if they come out with something else, I would like to be able to follow it. That's the reason why I ask. It's just like, oh, I would like to know, because this handheld looks really good. I mean, for real, it's got every setup just by before I even like the screen and everything. I mean, it's pretty much got everything. It's got 2 card slots. It has all your button layouts. It has 2 big your back buttons is easy to be accessible, and it's the screen, the way it like pops out a little bit, it's just really nice. It's really nice to hold. I mean, it's really nice. The analogs is right there in its place. I'm like, wow, whoever sat there and made this, they made it was simple, but it actually hit all the points. I mean, like, for real, I am like tripping. And that's the reason why I was like, dang, this thing is off the chain, good to go for like a person that's just like, you know what, I'm not into all these. I just want to play some games, but I want something really good and decent. This right here is it. Let me start off with a little bit of Dreamcast action. And the way I have my team position, I'm probably not going to be playing that good. but just to check this out, how good this look, how this screen looks, and just everything it's fun. It's really fun. Look at that. We're gonna get some arcade action up in here, playing some arcade, and definitely the controls feels good. Seriously, even though I can't get my moves out the way I want to, it's still just fine. Let's go to another little arcade run right here. Love my beat 'em ups. These are games that's truly just amazing. And on this particular SD card, it does have Mario games on them. I just want to let you know, it does have Mario games. Now, a lot of people ask those type of questions, does it have them? But it does. I just wanted to try like other games and test out other fun games, because there's so many games out there, especially arcade games and stuff like that. So 64, no problem, working really good, even though I'm messing up. The analogs work really good, the buttons work, and I like it. I like the way everything is just rocking and rolling out here, and it's like a Game Boy feel, but it has everything. I'm loving it. Yeah, this is definitely just ready to go. And if you're a type of person that just like to tamper around with this, the best thing to do is get your SD card. This is run in the back of this is using emulation station, which is easy if you just look at tutorials on how to set this thing up. And you know what, add your own ROMs, add your own stuff, and you will have the ultimate handheld. Really, this is ready to rock. I think that what they did, and even if you want to just keep it just the way this is perfect. But if you want to make the ultimate handheld, this is the way to go. Get your SD card and go ahead and insert your own ROMs. Do what you got to do. Use that emulation station back in on that piece, and you will have the ultimate handheld to be able to play all games that you wanted. And it's good for the pockets, and it's small enough. And with that being said, I'm out of here, you guys. If you guys made it this far, I truly appreciate it. All right, you guys, thank you guys. And from gamer to gamer, thanks for watching.